Justina believed in the power of sisterhood. Having grown up an only child, she clung to friendships like sacred vines. So when her childhood best friend, Adama, called one rainy evening, crying about her eviction and how she had nowhere else to go, Justina did not think twice. "Come and stay with us," she said, pressing the phone close to her ear, unaware that this simple act of kindness would cost her everything. Her husband, Jacob, was far from pleased. "You want your friend to come live with us? For how long?" "Justina, this isn't a hotel," he protested, his brow furrowed in deep suspicion. "She just needs a place to get back on her feet. A few weeks, maybe less. She's like a sister to me, Jacob. Please, I can't leave her on the street." He sighed and shook his head, muttering something about how inviting the wrong people into your home is like opening the door to your own destruction. Justina brushed it off with a chuckle. "You always exaggerate," she teased, pecking him on the cheek. Please subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell, like, and comment. Thank you. The very next day, Adama arrived with 2 worn bags and a wide smile. She hugged Justina tightly, whispering, "You are my angel. I don't know what I would have done without you." Justina welcomed her warmly, but Jacob kept his distance, watching her warily. He could not place it, but something about Adama unsettled him. The way she lingered too long in the hallway, how she never seemed to sleep at night, or the strange smell of burnt herbs that occasionally drifted from her room. 2 weeks turned into a month stretched into 2. Adama had no job, no plans, and showed no signs of living. But she was helpful around the house and even bonded with Jacob and Justina's 3-year-old son, Andy. She cooked, cleaned, and even offered massages when Jacob complained of body aches. "She's actually been great," Justina said one night, resting her head on Jacob's chest. "I think you misjudged her." But Jacob did not respond. His eyes stared blankly at the ceiling. His thoughts had become foggy lately. He often lost track of time, and he had started feeling somehow off. "You are always nagging," he growled one morning when she asked why he had not come to bed. "Jacob, what's happening to you?" she asked, tears brimming in her eyes. "You're not the man I married." "I don't know what I ever saw in you," he said quietly, and walked away. 2 weeks later, Justina came home from the market and found the house eerily quiet. Her worst fears were confirmed when she noticed their son Andy's clothes and toys gone. A neighbor handed her a note from Jacob. "Don't come looking for us. It's over." Justina collapsed, wailing like a mother mourning her child, because in many ways that was exactly what had happened. It was as if Jacob, Adam, and Andy had vanished into thin air. 3 years later, after a church service one Sunday morning, Pastor Adewale invited Justina to the church office and told her about the revelation he had during service about her husband and her son. "The Lord says your home was stolen by someone you trusted," he said. Justina stared in disbelief. "She used witchcraft and evil charm to snatch what was yours. But God says He's restoring everything. Your husband, your son, your peace. Your friend Adama used juju. She bound your husband's soul and sold your son to a childless couple for a lot of money. But the power of God will overturn it." Adama had started a new home with Jacob, who was under her spell. She had sold Andy to a childless couple for a lot of money. Because Jacob was under his spell, he could not understand the transaction. One day, a friend of Justina and Jacob saw Adama and Jacob sitting outside their new home. The neighbor then took Justina there. Will you leave this place now? Do I know you? Jacob said to Justina. Don't let my wife meet you here. Justina, in shock, ran away, straight to the church. A team of 3 men led by Pastor Adewale and 2 members of the prayer band followed her to Jacob's new home, and Jacob was delivered and taken to the church. That was when he remembered what had happened before the spell. I remember darkness, he murmured. Like I was awake, but trapped. I could see myself doing things, but I wasn't the one doing them. Justina reached out and held his hand, tears tracing silent paths down her cheeks. What about Andy, our son? Jacob blinked slowly. I remember a couple. Adama. She handed Andy, our son, to them. I tried to scream. I tried to stop her, but I could not move. My body obeyed her, not me. Pastor Adewale leaned forward. Can you remember where this happened? Jacob closed his eyes. It's in the neighborhood, in this neighborhood. The house, it had no number, no sign. Just trees everywhere. Justina's heart sank. But the woman, Jacob whispered, she kept calling herself Madam Boss Lady. She said Andy was a blessing to replace her barrenness. But Adama told her to keep Andy safe and well fed. She said she had paid a price high enough to buy peace. 3 years. He'll be nearly 6 years now. Will he remember her? Will he remember he was taken? Justina did not know whether to scream or collapse. But what she knew was that she would not rest until she had found her son. Adama did not just use charms, Pastor Adewale said. She bound your son's spirit to the house of the woman who bought him. So, what do we do now? Justina asked. We'll pray, Pastor said. We'll fast, and then Jacob will lead us there. That weekend, a vigil was held. The church cried out to heaven. On the 3rd day, the pastor came with a revelation. I saw a house, he said. He then described the house. Pastor Adewale, Justina, and Jacob headed out to the house. As they got to the house, a woman came out. Her face was hard. Looking for someone? She sneered. Justina stepped forward. Where is my son? Where is Andy? The woman laughed darkly. I don't know who you are. This is my house. My son plays inside. You must be mistaken. Jacob tried to speak, but his voice cracked. We know you bought the boy, Pastor Adewale said sternly, and told Madam Boss Lady what had happened. And then he said, we've come to take him back. After 3 years of loving my son and caring for him, please subscribe to this channel, turn on your notification bell, like, and comment. Thank you. Please leave my house now. After several trips and meetings, talking and consultations, Madam Boss Lady and her husband finally agreed to release Andy. Then something amazing happened. As Andy was finally brought out to meet his real parents, a tear rolled down his cheeks. Mama, he whispered. Justina ran and grabbed him. They carried him. The family was reunited again. But it wasn't over yet. Adama must be arrested because she may have sold other children and broken other homes, Justina said. I can't let her do this to others, what she did to me. Jacob nodded. Then we find her. We expose everything. Justina looked back at the sky. The battle for my family is over, but the war for justice is just beginning. They led policemen to Adama's house, and she was arrested to face justice.